Welcome to my channel Lenovate. In this video, we will going to discuss about the fluid capillary pressures, and we will also going to discuss the flow of the movement of the fluid by the presence of a different hydrostatic pressure and the oncotic pressure that is exerted by the capillary and the intestinal fluid. So first we have to know what are the hydrostatic pressure and what is the colloidal oncotic osmotic pressure. So the hydrostatic pressure, that is simply the force and the pressure that allows the fluid to pass from the capillary pores into the intestinal spaces. The hydrostatic pressure of the capillary fluid will going to pass the fluid into the intestinal spaces from the capillary. That you can say the force that is going to oppose the fluid from the capillary into the intestinal space. Similarly, the intestinal hydrostatic fluid will going to push the fluid from the intestinal space into the capillary wall, capillary fluid. Then another force that we will going to discuss about is the colloidal osmotic pressure. The colloidal osmotic pressure is simply the pressure that is exerted by the plasma proteins that are present in the capillary, and also they are present in the intestinal spaces. And these plasma proteins are going to exert the pressure. If the capillary plasma pressure is this capillary plasma pressure is also called as the colloidal osmotic pressure, and this pressure is going to cause the fluid invert to the capillary, that more fluid to accumulate inside the capillary, while that of a intestinal colloidal osmotic pressure will cause the fluid to accumulate in the intestinal space. You can say the same direction can occur in the oncotic osmotic pressure, while that of the hydrostatic pressure is going to push the fluid in the opposite direction. So this was the two basic concepts about the pressure that we are going to discuss, and how they are connected and how they are regulated by the way of the mechanism that exchange the fluid through the capillary wall. So now if we take the example of a capillary, here is we say that this is the arterial end of a capillary and this is a venous end of a capillary. When the blood flow from the capillary from the arterial end toward the venous end, what happens in the change of hydrostatic pressure? The normal mean arterial hydrostatic pressure is about 25 mm of Hg, and this 25 mm of Hg is also going to change in a range of about 15-25 mm Hg, and the mean arterial pressure is about 17 mm of Hg. If we go to the particular because the 25 mm of Hg is the range, and the 17 mm of Hg is particular mean arterial pressure, and this 17 mm of Hg is coming from the arterial pressure at the venous end and the arterial and mean. If we take the mean, because the arterial pressure is between 25 mm Hg to 30 mm Hg, while that of the arterial pressure is between about 10 to 15 mm of Hg. So if we take the mean of these two pressures, we will get this mean capillary pressure, that is about 17 mm of Hg, and this is fixed. So what happens when there is a flow of fluid through the capillary? This 17 mm of Hg pressure should be maintained inside the capillary. That is a capillary hydrostatic pressure that is going to pull the fluid outside the capillary, that we have discussed in the definition of the hydrostatic pressure. Now what happens when the capillary pressure, in the example of a book, we see that here the capillary pressure is taken about 30 mm of Hg, and the venous end the capillary pressure is taken about 10 mm of Hg. So difference between this 10 mm of Hg and 30 mm of Hg with the 17 mm of Hg will going to cause the flow of fluid through the capillary wall and the oncotic and osmotic pressure. Now if we take the example at the arterial end of a capillary, what happens? This capillary pressure is going to pull the fluid outside the capillary, and the pressure that is present in the intestinal space at the arterial end of the capillary having the pressure about 3 mm of Hg. In the book, if we take this example, that 3 mm of Hg will going to push the fluid inside the capillary wall, because this is the hydrostatic pressure, that is the intestinal hydrostatic pressure, and this is the capillary hydrostatic pressure. So here you can see the difference of this pressure. The larger the capillary hydrostatic pressure is, because the greater amount of the pressure will be exerted by the capillary to pull the fluid outward than the fluid inward. So there will be a more pulling of the fluid outward, that we call as the filtration, because as we have discussed in the previous video, in the part of this video, that there are the certain pores that are located in the capillary, and also there are some of the intercellular clefts. So the water can be filtered, and the certain particles, nutrients, and can be absorbed from the capillary into the intestinal fluid. so there will be a more and more filtration through the fluid outward, and that's why this is called as the arterial pressure outward. Arterial outward hydrostatic pressure is greater than the inward hydrostatic pressure. That's why the fluid will move outside, or the net filtration rate, you can say the net filtration rate of the arterial end of the capillary is greater than the venous end. Now coming to the venous end, what happens at the venous end? Here the important pressure is the colloidal osmotic pressure, because the difference in the hydrostatic pressure at the venous end of capillary is not too much to be measured. Here the main pressure is the oncotic pressure. The capillary hydrostatic pressure, is we have discussed, is 10 mm of Hg. So there is no much difference in the hydrostatic pressure. So we do not calculate that pressure, we calculate the oncotic pressure. The oncotic pressure of the capillary at the venous end is about, so the capillary oncotic pressure at the venous end is about 28 mm of Hg. The 28 mm of Hg pressure is present in the inside the capillary, and this is the oncotic pressure, not the hydrostatic pressure. The oncotic pressure that we have discussed is going to pull the fluid inside the capillary wall. The more oncotic pressure, the more will be pulling of the fluid inside the capillary wall, that we call as the absorption of the fluid through the capillary wall from the intestinal space. This was the intestinal space where the tissues are present, and this space between the fluid is called as the intestinal space. So there is pulling of the fluid inside. The pressure outside the, we can say the intestinal oncotic pressure, that is the pressure of the plasma proteins. Pressure of the plasma protein tends to pull the fluid outward is about 8 mm of Hg at the venous side of the capillary. This 8 mm of Hg is less than the 28 mm of Hg. So the pulling of the fluid outward is less than the pulling of fluid inward. That's why the difference is greater in the oncotic pressure of the capillary. So here the net absorption, that is the coming or the pulling of the fluid inside the capillary because of the increased oncotic pressure of the capillary, is greater. So we can say the net absorption rate, the absorption rate of the capillary fluid at the venous end of the capillary is greater than the arterial end. So at summary, we got to know that the mean capillary fluid pressure is about 17 mm of Hg. That is important point to remember. This 17 mm of Hg should be maintained, and there at the arterial and the net filtration rate is greater, while that at the venous and net absorption rate is greater because of the difference in the intestinal fluid pressure, and here the difference is between the oncotic fluid pressure. So from this difference we can get to know that the at the arterial end of the capillary there will be a more filtration of fluid, that is the pulling out of the fluid through the capillary into the intestinal space, and at the venous end of the capillary there will be a pulling inside of the fluid at the venous end of the capillary fluid, that we call as net absorption rate. And these are the forces that we call as the Starling forces, that causes the fluid to pull outward and pull inside the capillary, and this way the exchange of the materials, exchange of the nutrients, exchange of the lymphatics and the blood flow of the fluid, capillary fluid, take place. So this was the general explanation about the pressures and about the oncotic pressure, hydrostatic pressure, and filtration rate of capillary. So I hope you will be explained well. If you have any query, you can comment below, and you can also give feedback to our Facebook page. Thank you for watching.